It's your boy Jose from Big Meat Sports. How you guys doing on this lovely Monday? First of all, man, it's your boy Jose. It's JC, the Dolphins fan there. But before we start this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the page. Also, check us out on Spotify and our Instagram page. We greatly appreciate it. Man, oh man. Dolphins. So let's start off talking about the Dolphins losing. Look, I know this game is, it's any given Sunday, but to lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars was pretty ridiculous. Even though I know that you guys didn't have most of your defensive players, and I think Buda Baker or one of your linebackers went out.
Jerome Baker.
Jerome Baker. Yeah, one of your linebackers went out. So, like,
I'm breathing that thing.
What did you see went wrong in that game? What
didn't go wrong?
Was it coaching? Was it
coaching? Has been the problem, man, for a while now. I think coaching is one of our biggest concerns. If you look at the game yesterday, Tua didn't actually play bad. He played very good. I think he had career highs in yardage. He threw for 45 times. You don't want to see that. Tua's not a gunslinger like that. He's no Mahomes. He's no Josh Allen. But man, it's disheartening because we have so much talent on the field and significantly more talent than what Jacksonville has. And they got some decent players. And that's that they were missing Miles Jack and one of their key offensive linemen. I can't even put it into words, man. I can't, because it's just I don't know if Flo has lost the team, but he's dangerously close to getting there. Yeah, we didn't have X. We didn't have Byron Jones, our two top corners. But we're playing the damn Jaguars.
Look, my thing, and sorry to cut you off, but
yeah, go ahead.
Right now, with the trade deadline being November 2nd, and it's close, it's right around the corner. Do you think that you need to start getting players in here, meaning trade away your assets, because you guys have a lot of first-round picks, a lot of picks, come up on next year's draft? Do you need to go get offensive lineman, another wide receiver, defensive player? What needs to happen? Because I just feel something needs to happen, and needs to happen soon.
I agree. I think there's no playoffs for us. I think we can salvage the season. I think the rest of the way we really have to focus on Tua's development and see if he's the guy. I agree with trading away players. I don't agree with acquiring players. I think at this point you run with what you have. If you can get a great offensive lineman or great defensive player, or like a linebacker that we don't have great linebackers, then that's great. That's a plus. But I think you trade away Xavien Howard. I never thought I'd say this. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons why I love X. He's fallen out of favor with me this year because he was crying about that money. He got his money and he's been playing like garbage. He's been playing like absolute trash. With the exception of the first game.
How much you guys are paying him this year? How much is he getting paid? Because I said it on my last podcast, and he's
not, his annual salary didn't change. I think he got more guaranteed money. I'm not exactly sure how much. We're talking 5-6 mil maybe.
Okay.
And he was already on a very lucrative contract. The only thing is that the scale for cornerbacks goes up every year.
Yeah.
So when we initially gave him the contract 2 years ago, he was the highest paid corner in the league. Now he's like third or fourth.
Yeah.
On that list. And Byron Jones, which I agreed with him because Byron Jones was making more money than he was because we signed him a year after his deal. So he wanted more money. He wasn't, he had 10 interceptions. He was all pro. He wasn't even the highest paid corner. He got his money. And I agreed with that move. But I think the Dolphins, at the end of the day, they did that to make him happy this season because they thought they were going to win now. And then next year they'll worry about him, maybe trade him away. I think at this point you can trade him away. Maybe Byron Jones. Even though I like Byron Jones, he's been decent. He hasn't been that great either.
Yeah.
But X has been getting toasted. Like that game in Tampa, Antonio Brown made him look silly.
And that's what I was saying. Even though Antonio Brown does do that to a lot of people, but
He does, especially when he's crossing the middle.
You're paying so much for one of the top corners in the league, and to get what you're getting this season.
And this is my deal with Xavien Howard. And I don't think I've ever said it on the show. I've always loved X. I was happy that we got him in the second round, and I liked his development for the first couple of years. He had, I think it was 7 interceptions his first big year starting, and we gave him that contract. Right after we gave him that contract, he got into a domestic dispute. He went to jail. We didn't release him. We stuck by him. We supported him. That very next season, he got hurt. I think early, maybe the first 3 or 4 games, missed the rest of the year. Came back last year, had a full season, had an amazing year, and now he wants more money. I didn't agree with that, because he only outperformed his contract maybe 1 season or half a season, if that. He only had it for about 2 years. And then I think he got greedy. And I think at the end of the day, he did what a lot of players do in this league, unfortunately, is once they get their money, they're not performing. Jerome Baker's one of them, our middle linebacker. He got his money this offseason. He's been playing like garbage. But it's also coaching too, because they're not using him correctly. I agree that they could use him in other ways. Like he should be rushing the quarterback more, because he when he does, he's effective. They don't have him doing that. Yeah. X, they haven't done anything specific with X. They have him doing what he always does. He just hasn't been any good this year.
Yeah, and
so there's a lot of problems.
It's very inconsistent with X, and I think we've talked about it previously on our episodes. Is that you'll get that one good year with X, down year, then one good year, down year. So last year was his good year, and this is his down year. But I don't know if the Dolphins are ready to stay or are able to stay with him and keep up that inconsistency. I think right now it's trade away season.
If someone offers a first round pick, do it.
And
I'll do
but
it.
my thing
someone
is
who desperately needs a corner.
My thing is to acquire players is the fact that your front office does not know how to draft players. You guys have been missing. So you need to switch. I
would see it. Honestly, I wouldn't even see it for draft capital reasons. I would see it as we're opening up our cap.
Yeah.
We're already going to be top 2, top 3 cap space next year.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of X would probably put us at number 1.
Yeah.
So draft capital right now means shit to me, because Chris Greer, I can't even tell you who he's hit on. I mean, he's been making picks for even since before he became full-time general manager. Yeah. I think he was the head of scouting department. So he's missed on a lot of players. But if you think of the last 2 drafts, the one thing he did right was that Laramie Tunsil trade. Where we got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. That was great. That was genius. Other than that, what has he done with those picks?
Yeah.
You hit Tua. The jury's still out on Tua. You picked up Austin Jackson at left tackle. Now he's your left guard, and it took way too long to move him to guard. Noah Iganabi, I can't even say his damn last name. Iganabi.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Iggy. They call him Iggy, so I'm saying Iggy. You took him in the first round, and mind you, and I was just having this conversation with someone the other day, is we needed a running back. We've needed a running back for the last 3-4 years.
Yes.
That year, we took Austin Jackson, number 18. We took Iggy, number 30, I believe. And we took Robert Hunt in the second round, our first pick of the second round. Jonathan Taylor was picked 3 or 4 picks later. And then he comes down to Miami and he destroys
you.
So we passed on Najee Harris, even though I like Jalen Phillips. I think he's getting better every game. But we needed a freaking running back. And they're not hitting on those players, man. And it's just, we had all that draft capital and we did absolutely nothing with it, at least so far. And it doesn't look like it's going to pan out unless Tua all of a sudden looks looks amazing these last few games in the season or the rest of the way, which this, yesterday he looked good. He looked good. He looked really good. And I thought we really had a chance, but our defense shit the bed. They've been shitting the bed this whole year.
Yeah. Hey, look, to end it off on the Dolphins, and because I know it's a sour note, I think something needs to happen, and needs to happen soon with this trade deadline. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, because I know there's rumblings.
Someone's going to get fired if we lose to the
Falcons. I like Coach Flores. Look, I like Coach Flores, and I don't think he is a problem. I think you stick with him. It's you need to fire the offensive coordinator. You need to, the personnel up top that have been drafting, they need to go. It needs to be clean.
I think he needs to be held accountable. He needs to be held more accountable. But at the same time, I see both because at the end of the day, when we got rid of Cal Van Noy, when we got rid of what was his name? The Eric Flowers, who actually played for the guard. When we got rid of Bobby McCain, our safety, those were Brian Flores decisions. Those weren't Chris Grier decisions. You know, what I'm bothered by the most, and I was a big fan, and I'm still a fan of Flores, but I feel like he needs to be held accountable to the same extent. Is because I'm sure he told the GM, Chris Grier, that he can make it work with the players that he has. We had money, we had draft capital. We never addressed the O-line. We went into the season with all these young guys at O-line, and we've been absolutely destroyed. So that tells me that you outsmarted yourself. You went into the season just because you went 10-6 last year, that, hey, no, I could do this shit. This is kind of easy. You know what I'm saying? Let me run it my way. Absolutely garbage. So someone needs to be held accountable. We play the Falcons. I think they're favored. Then we play the Bills on Halloween, which is fitting because we're gonna get our asses kicked in Buffalo. So that's gonna be a scary, a little horror show for everybody on Halloween. And then we play the Texans, and I'm going to the Ravens game on Thursday night, which is gonna be the first game I've ever taken my son to, and it's unfortunate that he's gonna witness that, but I'm taking him for the experience. And I got those tickets because I got them way early in the year, you know. So but we'll see, man. I mean,
you thought it was gonna be a better game than it.
Yeah. But like I said, we can salvage the season. Playoffs, done. We ain't making no damn playoffs. We can salvage the season by playing, respectable the rest of the way, like we did in 2019. We started off 0-7, and we were a pretty good team. We beat Tom Brady in his last home game in New England. We were respectable by the end of that year. I just hope we make it that way this year. Get rid of, cut the fat, whatever fat you need to cut, whether you're firing a coach, an assistant coach, or you're getting rid of players. I'm fine with that. Just play respectable. And I want to see them improve. It feels like we're regressing every single week. It's ridiculous. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, next game I want to talk about is how about them Cowboys? Oh yes. Let's talk about the Cowboys beating the Patriots. Look, first of all, this game as a Cowboys fan was emotionally draining because there were so many times.
It was fun for me to watch because, I'm just a fan. I'm on the outside looking in.
Yeah. Look, because there's so many times we could have scored. The refs really had a really bad game on this one because to first start it off, how does Dak not score on that third down and goal? His body was clearly over the line, and they call him short. Which,
the only thing is that the video, it's inconclusive. You can't really tell.
They showed another angle, which they're on top, and he's clearly his body is like across the line. They're picking him up.
Wasn't he under some bodies though?
No.
He was people on top of him.
No, he was on over the line, and then. He jumps, and I was like, oh, yeah, he has it for sure. And the Patriots defender popped the ball out right before. I'm like, man. And then there's so many holding calls that
he punched it out, like literally right at that moment.
Right at the moment.
How pissed were you?
I was super pissed. And then the holding calls, I mean, some of them were ticky-tack. The Patriots were holding Randy Gregory almost every play, and thank God.
He was beasting, though. He was beasting.
That was a turning point of that game where Randy Gregory, they were going down, I think it was in the first half, going down to score, again, either a field goal or a touchdown, whatever the case may be. And he popped Mac Jones, forced fumble. We got the ball back. I mean, that was a turning point in that game, and that kind of gave us a little life. But, man, when I mean it was a roller coaster of emotions when Trayvon Diggs intercepted that pass. I was like, yes, game over. Here we go.
That was a very opportunistic pick.
Yes. And then
later, you know what's crazy is that I was about to write in the group chat. I was about like, yo, this dude Diggs is special.
Yeah.
And as soon as I was about to write that, he got hit with the
double move. But and if you look at it, I think he was relying more on the safety. KZ
even when he was running, he was still looking back.
Yeah. But he was undercutting the ball. It was a really good ball placement by Mac Jones. but the safety, he didn't have like no safety help. I think KZ went for the interception, thought it was going to be overthrown instead of going and popping the
I thought that was going to be a pick too.
Man, but it came
Think
down
about
to,
it because that was the very first play, right?
Yeah, that was very first play.
Like
right
that,
after the
you don't think Diggs was a little tired? Like he was still tired from fucking taking that shit to the house.
Yeah, but I mean, and then a minute, I think it was a minute and 14 left, and Dak needed to drive us down for the game tying field goal. And he did. And again, a holding call, which they threw it, whatever, but he relied on CeeDee Lamb to come up with that huge catch to set us up on field goal range for Greg the Leg, which just missed. But what they kind of pointed out in that that miss was, I think he was worried about that end guy coming and basically almost blocking that miss. So they kind of switched it up, and you saw Jeremy Sprinkle pop out on the game tying field goal. You saw him pop up on the end guy, and Greg the Leg was able to have a clean shot at the field goal and make it. But man, defense stopped him in overtime, and that play action to CeeDee Lamb, even though Dak got a calf strain, but like he says, it feels a lot better with the win. But again, this was a really good game.
When did he sustain that calf strain? Was it on
that last play? That last play.
Wow.
He sustained that last.
What a play too, man. CeeDee Lamb is a motherfucking baller.
Yeah.
I was laughing because, man, if I was that defender, I'd be pissed too when he was doing that.
The waving. Yeah, Jaylen Mills. And which is, I love seeing Jaylen Mills on the field because he's a former Eagle and we've torched him so many times. And he just got torched one more time, just in a different jersey. But yeah, it's
he was pissed off too. I thought they were gonna go at it.
Yeah, and like Mike McCarthy said at the end of the game and in the locker room, you need these wins. Not every game is going to be a blowout. You need these wins that when the stacks against you, what is it? False starts, holdings, so on and so forth. You got to keep on putting the pedal to the metal and get the job done. And I think that we did that, and it's going to go.
Let me ask you something. As a Cowboys fan, you're confident watching that game, right?
Yeah, we were driving every time. We had the time of possession.
But that's every game, though. You guys' offense has been so potent. You guys have been so effective, whether it's on the ground. You guys have you guys complement each other, whether it's the run game and the passing game. You guys are so smooth with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go either way, and they complement each other, and you're not one dimensional. Yeah. Like the Dolphins.
And that's what
we have no run game. That does not help us, man.
But our running attack yesterday was stopped. I think.
Well, yeah, they have a good defense.
Yeah, but Belichick made it a point to stop the run and put it on Dak's hands, which was the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's what you should have focused on.
And you saw some of the disguises that they were bringing to the Cowboys team. Yeah. That Belichick team, they prepare really, really well throughout the week, and they kind of what they went to was stopping our tight ends, which a man's best, the QB's best friend is a tight end, and they stopped the Dalton Schultz and somewhat of Blake Jarwin, so it forced them to force Dak to go to CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and our running backs out of the backfield. Which, hey, at the end of the day, Dak put up 400 plus yards, the most yardage Bill Belichick has given up. And again, it was just a great win.
All you guys were missing, really. Obviously, Dak got hurt last year, but your defense has been stepping it up. You guys got you got Dan Quinn, right?
Yeah, Dan Quinn, our DC. He's been doing a hell of a job replacing Mike Nolan. But the thing I like is that we're hitting on all of our draft picks, and and talking about the Dolphins not hitting, we're hitting on all of our draft picks because we drafted CeeDee Lamb, and then we run
historically you guys have been pretty good with draft picks.
Yeah, and especially offensive line,
even when they're not the sexy pick.
Yeah,
like I remember everybody hating on you guys for taking Zach Martin.
Yeah,
and it's paid off.
And Tyron Smith. But our last draft picks, CD Lamb, and then the next round to get it to get Diggs. This year, Micah Parsons, which has been playing outstanding for us, and then
That's another guy we missed on. We missed on Diggs.
Yeah.
We took Noah instead.
Yeah. Diggy Zua, that's playing good for us also. Golston, it just keeps on going, and it's a very young and exciting
How about that guy
team.
from Hard Knocks, Kamara? Does he ever play?
He actually played versus the Chargers game. He actually stopped Herbert when he was rolling out, and it was a crucial stop that he ran him down and pushed him out of bounds. So yes, Kamara is on the team. I don't know if he's on the active roster right now, but they keep on switching people from the active and
What about that Spanish guy that had that really annoying mom?
Jesus, he's there. He's on the practice squad. So so let's talk about the next game, and I don't want to get too much into it. The Ravens and Chargers. Ravens beat down the Chargers 34-6, and
that Cowboys win don't look so good now, huh?
Yeah, now it looks really good. But my question is, and I don't want to get too much into this game, Lamar Jackson, he's playing really good right now. Is this the year that you feel Lamar Jackson takes the next step in winning a playoff game? Or is this the same old thing that we're seeing, that regular season Lamar does his thing and goes forward? What do you see in this Baltimore Ravens team?
I mean, I think that he's playing better. I mean, he's Lamar. He's Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's playing any worse. I think he's developed his passing game a little bit better than years past. At the end of the day, the jury's always going to be out on him because of his playoff performances. So you can do all you want in the regular season, but until we get to that playoff football, then I think time will tell. I think he's more than capable. I think the defense is playing well despite their injuries. I think you probably say that they're even better because of they've had so many injuries on the running back position, defensive side of the ball with Marcus Peters going down, and they've responded well. So, I mean, they've had some really good wins. They've beaten the Chiefs. They've beaten the Chargers. Their only bad loss was the beginning of the year when they lost to the Raiders, and the Raiders were playing really good at that point, before they knew their coach was a racist and a homophobic guy. But at the end of the day, they're playing good football. And they got great coaching on their side. So I don't think they got anything to worry about. I think they're going to be in good hands. Like I said, Lamar Jackson individually has to prove that in the playoffs. I think they're more than capable of doing it, though.
Yeah, I also do the same thing. It's this regular season Lamar. We're I don't want to overhype it right now, but he's playing really good football, and his passing has really improved. But again, we have to see it in the playoffs, and that's one thing that's on his back of his mind. I'm pretty sure you have to get it done, and he hasn't got it done as of late because they have been that number one seed, and they've got eliminated in the first
I would
game.
love to see him get the monkey off his back, though. Giannis was a regular season player. Yeah. Milwaukee was great in the regular season until they got to the playoffs. Yeah. But they got that monkey off their back this past season, and
it's Giannis.
He proved this, so.
It's Giannis, by the way, not Giannis.
Giannis. I said Giannis.
It's Giannis.
I say Giannis?
It's okay. Giannis.
Whatever. Tomato, bro.
All right, but talking about basketball, look.
Yeah.
I want to talk some basketball real quick because the NBA season is coming closely. I believe it's.
When's your first game? Tomorrow?
No,
our first game is tomorrow night.
I believe it's Thursday. I want to say
Thursday. Damn.
Yeah, either
we play tomorrow night. Golden State.
Yeah. But look, the off season, they had Miami Heat as the best off season moves, and the Lakers not too far behind. I'll tell you what I like about the Heat and the Lakers, and then you go ahead and tell me what you like. But I do think that the Heat had the best offseason, but right there, and I would say 1A, 1B, were the Lakers on acquiring all the transactions. You got Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, and Rondo, and those right there. Yes, they're old, but there's years of experience, years of playoff basketball that's in that team right now. That now the coach for the Lakers, all he has to do is manage their time, stay away from burning them out and injury, and hopefully, they stay away from injury. And this is a really, really good Lakers team. A lot of people are making fun of the roster as it being really old with, Trevor Ariza and Dwight Howard. But, this team has a lot of experience, and it's just plugging, plugging them in certain situations.
If it was 2011, we go 80, we go 82-0.
Yeah. But what I like about the Heat on their off-season moves, one, Kyle Lowry he's that dude, and he brings a fast pace to our offense, which we didn't really have that with Goran Dragic, and you can see it in these preseason games that he wants to get the offense.
A cerebral type point guard.
Yeah,
I don't know when was the last time Miami had that.
He wants to get the offense going, and he's forcing it, down the court. And the one great move that we did was get PJ Tucker and took him away from Milwaukee, because look, Milwaukee's going to hate that move, because PJ Tucker was that dog that would go against, the top player on the other team and give Giannis, out of foul trouble, like, tell him to guard, the other people. And that's going to suck for Milwaukee, but it's really
good. He can hit that corner three too.
Really good for Miami. And, and Markieff Morris.
Another signing. I was just about to say that. Markieff Morris.
Morris.
I loved him with the Lakers the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's a dog. You could see it. And we had that team. I think we upgraded so much on the defensive side, and we're able to keep Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. I mean, to me, look, I don't want to, go looking ahead, but it's not far-fetched to say it might be a Lakers and Heat finals again.
I would love that. And I would love it simply for the fact that, hey, we're not in the bubble anymore. But I would love it to be with Miami with no injuries, the Lakers with no injuries, and real home court advantage. Yeah. Because I think Miami has that over the Lakers, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. A lot of people get to the games late, but but Miami has a serious home court advantage. And I would love to see that, man. I would really love to see Miami and LA go at it again. Obviously, your biggest problem is going to be Brooklyn. Hopefully Kyrie remains selfish and sits out the year. That gives you guys more of a chance. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who they got. If your defense is what is expected to be, and you guys got excellent coaching. So I'm really excited for Miami. I think they're gonna do some things this year.
And the funny thing was, Tyler Hero going out there and saying that his name should be in the same conversation as Luka and Trey. And I had the same reaction as you. I was like, man, what is this kid thinking? And then to see him
if he backs it up, all power to him.
As of now in the preseason, yet it's the preseason.
He has been
backing it up. But we'll see in the regular season how it comes to fruition.
That's kind of especially with the slump that he had this past year, his sophomore slump.
Yeah.
I'm not too confident in that, but hey, the kid is confident in himself. You can tell he is. If he does, I think you said that he's gonna be the 6th man of the year.
Yep.
If he is,
then I feel like he is.
We gotta wager on that.
Yeah.
We gotta put a wager on it.
But other than
hey, look, if Tyler Hero is not the 6th man of the year, you have to wear a Lakers tie at work for a whole week.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
And then what if he gets it? Then I gotta do something.
Yeah, you gotta wear a Dallas Cowboy tie. I'll bring a Dallas Cowboy tie for you. Okay.
I'll do that. All right.
But so what are your expectations for the Lakers squad this upcoming year?
Obviously we went 0-6 in the preseason. I have nothing to stand on much. But I think that we're not gonna get off to a fast start. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of hype around the Lakers right now, but we are an older team. I don't think that we're going to jump straight away and get the first seed and just ball out. I think we're going to take our time. I think they're going to manage their minutes, and I think they're really going to manage it looking forward to the playoffs no matter what seed we get. Obviously, I love the experience on this team. My favorite acquisition, believe it or not, is Rondo. Rondo is my favorite acquisition because he was so strong for us before that. I think he gels so nicely with LeBron. I think they're two of the smartest players in the league, and I think that they can figure that out. And I think that year that we won the championship had a lot to do with Rondo and him being able to adjust. And he's like a coach on the court, and so is LeBron. So when you got two floor generals like that, it's really hard to beat. So I think he's gonna mesh in well with these guys. I'm happy for Melo. I would love to see him get a ring. And so far in the preseason, they've been starting him. Obviously, he was a 6-man coming off the bench for Portland. I'm excited for him. I think he's another guy that can create his own shot. Obviously, this is all going to depend on Anthony Davis and his health. I'm tired of people calling him street clothes, as Charles Barkley would like to call it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with him taking games off this year for load management. I'm not a big fan of load management, but with him, with the Achilles and all that stuff, I would love for him to take his time and get ready for the playoffs. But I love everything we've done so far. I think under the radar picks that we got was Malik Monk, who was a baller.
Yep.
For Charlotte.
That was a good one.
I also like your boy, Kendrick Nunn. Yeah, I like him. I like Kendrick Nunn when he was with Miami.
Look,
I know he's inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
There's not a lot of expectations coming into LA. So again, he signed a 1-year deal. He's a lot of these guys sign 1-year deals. They're trying to get their money. So you got a guy like Nunn coming in. There's not a lot of high expectations for him. Let him come in and do what he does.
Yeah. Look, the Heat and Lakers did a lot of moves in off season, and I just named a few, and there's quite a little bit more, but the thing was just to keep Duncan and Tyler. That was my biggest thing I wanted to do. And look, Max Strus. The Strus is loose. This guy in the preseason, and hopefully it does translate.
He played well in the summer league too.
Yeah, he played well in the summer. Yeah, the summer league. He had a game-winning shot.
Yeah.
Had a game-winning shot, and then he's been balling out at three-point land during.
He's one of those developmental players. Remember, Duncan Robinson started off that way.
Yep.
So, and Miami always tends to find these little diamonds in a rough. It's not that they get to find them; it's they have such excellent coaching.
Yeah.
And I think LA does too. Actually, we got your boy. What's his name? He was with LeBron and Wade when you guys had the big three down here.
McAdoo?
He was no. He was the head coach of Memphis, and then he went to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Fizdale. David Fizdale.
David Fizdale.
Yeah, he's been added to our coaching staff. Obviously, Jason Kidd, who I was preferring him to take over. I wanted him to take over for our coach, for Frank Vogel. But he ended up getting the gig over in Dallas, but we ended up getting Fizdale. So I think that was a pretty good trade-off. But yeah, man, it's all on the coaching, man. And Miami has had excellent I mean, come on, Eric Spoelstra's been here since 2007. So you got that continuity, you got the consistency.
And a lot of years people wanted to get rid of Eric Spoelstra, but he's just been
I was never one of those people. I always gave him his credit.
Yeah, you have all those fans. I always want to get rid of Eric Spoelstra if it's a decent.
And he solidified it. He solidified it that year where you started off, I think it was 20 and I forgot what your record was, but you ended off the year like 34 and something. Like you guys went on an insane run.
Insane run, yeah.
He barely had any talent on the team. Mm-hmm. That showed you what kind of coach he is, and you're always gonna have a chance when you got that. So,
all right. But what team? My final question to you: what team, NBA team, are you looking towards this season? Like, what team really stands out? Do you look at them?
A sleeper team, not just my team, right?
Yeah,
Chicago.
Sleeper team. Chicago.
I think Chicago is gonna. I think they're going.
You got. My notes are right here. I said Chicago too, just because DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and Zach LaVine. I mean, that's a lot of scoring. The only thing,
and the center they got from Orlando. What's his name?
Vucevic
whatever the fuck. But yeah. No, they got it. They got a good team.
The only thing is their defense. They're going to be a little suspect on defense, but that's a lot of scoring that they have over there in Chicago. Where do you think, like, if everything pans out well, do you have them in like being the top 3 team? Maybe.
No, I don't. No. Top 3 for me is Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and Miami.
Okay.
I see them like getting in as a sleeper team. Like a 7-6 seed around there is possible in the Eastern Conference for sure.
Yeah.
You still got other teams to worry about.
Yeah.
But
I say they're right behind Miami and be like 4th or 5th because again, that's a lot of scoring.
You got Atlanta though.
I think they can. I mean, I think they match up well with Atlanta. I think they can out.
If Simmons gets it together,
that ain't happening.
I think Chicago gets in like one of those sleeper teams. They're gonna surprise some people in the first round.
Yeah, and Philly. I just saw something on Ben Simmons. He was at practice. They tried to do a little huddle, and he didn't even pay attention to the huddle. He's the first one.
That's a bad situation, man. They gotta do something with that guy.
that video just leaked, and I'm pretty sure that their executives are on the line right now trying to ship him out because
Yeah, but then again, who wants a guy like that? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I know Philly's a tough town to play for, but bro, if he would have just took ownership for the shitty play, because it's not like he balled out and the team was garbage.
Yeah.
That's normally when a guy acts like a diva.
Yeah.
But he played like crap. You know,
And
if he would have
take shots,
if he would have came back and say, you know what, I got to do better. I'm not going to let you guys down. Philly would love him because Philly has a great fan base. They're ruthless.
Yeah.
But they got a good fan base. He fucked them over, and now he's acting like that. That's what I don't like about that situation. But if I was a fan of my Lakers were doing bad and we didn't have LeBron and they wanted to trade for him, I wouldn't be a big fan of that. I wouldn't want that guy here.
Hey, but look, we'll see what happens in Philly. I'm just glad that it's happening in Philly. I'm not a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I don't like the Eagles.
Yeah, no.
I don't like the Sixers. So, and especially Joel Embiid, even though that's Jimmy Butler's boy. It's his Joel, trust the process. He kept on saying trust the process.
He hasn't done shit.
That process has been, for like 10 years now.
That's like, no. Ooh. He talks a lot of crap. I love it. Don't be, I'll be honest with you. I do love the trash talking, but he hasn't backed it up. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Hey, but that's it for our episode this week. It's great to have you back on, even though you always try me to say that my episodes are not good solo. But I feel like I do a damn great.
I'm just busting your balls, man.
But this is Jose and JC from Big Meat Sports, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the page. Check us out on Spotify and our Instagram page. Just look up Big Meat Sport Podcast, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. So see you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.